1 minute and 12 seconds of logos. Also Comcast. Also, this logo subjects me to 10 seconds of rowing. So you see, when you really think about it, it's like you're watching a documentary. We can't play the music, but pulling up to your next murder site listening to Kids in America by Kim Wilde always gets us in. We're gonna watch this truck slowly drive to whatever trailer home it's going to because this is what it thinks terror is, and so it can get to a length required by exhibitors to play in their theaters. It feels like this whole opening scene is possible because this couple didn't lock their door tonight. Sure, they would have died anyway, but it helps the movie with its suspenseful opening scene, and I hate it when characters help movies!
What are you doing in my house?
Asking an intruder what they're doing in your house instead of just running the f away or really doing anything else. Movie cuts away from the hot sex scene that happened after this. This title screen looks inspired by Stranger Things and beckons us to stare into a swirling red portal that suggests a Hellraiser or Poltergeist. But this movie is just about a handful of assholes who like killing people. Why am I staring at this velvet rope beckoning me into an exclusive supernatural nightclub run by the manager of Insidious? You might expect the sin to be Cincinnati, but considering our vantage point, the sin is Kentucky.
We just started a new game.
My man, you're playing some sort of sub-rec league baseball game here. There is no way this is competitive enough or enriching enough for you to be an asshole about leaving it right now. Real sin here is this exchange is goddamn pointless. Also, there might be 7 people on this field max. It's gonna be a pretty shitty baseball game to be fair. Discount Bill Pullman.
You know Mom and Dad are going broke over sending you to boarding school, right?
Kinsey is a troubled kid who did some stuff, and now her parents are sending her to a boarding school. You'll hope her rebellious character traits somehow factor into what we're going to watch, or be a secret weapon when they face off against murdering d***holes later, but you'll be sadly disappointed.
Wait, what's queef? Seriously, what's queef?
It's when there's this expulsion of air or gas from a screenplay. Kinsey is decked out in a Ramones shirt just in case you were desperately searching for her cool points. Also, for a final girl, Kinsey gets an even shorter shrift on character development than most. The only thing we ever really know about her is that she likes to smoke to piss off her parents, and by the end of the movie, that will remain all we know about her. This shot of the family driving over the bridge and subsequent shots of the family driving on roads after the bridge establish an eerie, unsettling feeling that this movie is boring.
There isn't anybody here.
I think everybody leaves after Labor Day.
This is the only explanation we will get for why no one hears any of the murdering and chasing going on later in the movie. And that is as thin of an explanation as it gets, folks.
The office is a little further down.
Let's show the entire remainder of that drive. It. The time frame in this movie is confusing as The opening scene is set at night, where Aunt Cheryl and Uncle Marv meet their untimely end. The movie's next scene is set during the day, where the Mad Men family prepare to take a trip to Cheryl and Marv's trailer park. A simple earlier that day would solve the problem, but they don't do that, and our brains naturally think it's just the next day. So when we see Joan Harris find the note, it makes it seem like Uncle Marv had the foresight to write it on the previous night before he got killed. The smiley face on the note suggests the strangers saw it and added their own little touch, and that's why they know that their family is going to show up in a few hours. But then when Cindy calls Cheryl and Marv about being late, they don't answer because we assume they are dead. But it's also still clearly daytime when she makes that call. Throwing more confusion into the mix is the fact that Luke covers his nose when he and Kinsey discover the bodies. Decomposition wouldn't happen that fast if it basically just happened. I think the movie is saying all this happened in the same day, but there are inconsistencies and I demand answers. Word is, at this point in the movie, the first draft of the screenplay had about 35 more pages that read exterior, night, car drives for an entire minute. It was only after that where the screenplay finally changed and one could find haphazardly stuffed pages from the Brown Bunny spit pasted inside, specifically the part where Vincent Gallo washes his car in real time.
There's someone else staying here?
I guess we're supposed to assume this is Chinese food the strangers ate after killing Uncle Marvin and Aunt Cheryl. But why even have this reveal? Everything about this Chinese food is bizarre and representative of the odd choices this movie continues to make the rest of the runtime.
Is Tamara home?
Sure, this is Tamara home nonsense is a little ominous and creepy the first time we saw it in the previous film, but after a while it just gets repetitive, and I'm less scared and more curious who the Tamara is. After the parents make a request for Kinsey and Luke to get off their phones, Kinsey inexplicably hands hers over just before ditching them to go smoke outside. The whole reason why this is here is so that cell phones don't become an issue later, but this is the best they could come up with.
Luke, you go talk to her.
I don't know what you guys want me to say to her.
Bill Pullman's son is correct. There's nothing he's going to be able to say that somehow makes being sent to boarding school palatable. The only reason this is done is so they can stumble on the dead bodies later, which wouldn't have happened without this bullshit.
Kinsey?
Movie will pretend that Kinsey might be a murder victim for well over the time limit it takes to annoy me. I think the filmmakers believe that if I see Kinsey smoking enough, I'll believe the bullshit about her being an out-of-control kid who needs to be sent to boarding school.
Well, it'd be nice to have the house back to ourselves again, I guess, once Luke goes off to college.
I get you gotta find the greener grass, but goddamn, this comment seems super shallow and inappropriate considering the situation they now find themselves in with their daughter.
I look so tired.
Thing I said after watching this movie somehow ended up in the movie?
Is Tamara home?
Even cold-blooded killers can't resist being repetitive for little to no reason. Like, seriously, I think watching the strangers plan this stupid would be way more fun than what we've watched so far. Hey, first, I'm gonna go to the door and ask for Tamara. And then what? And then what? And then I'm gonna go up to the door and ask for Tamara again. Holy that's genius! I'm gonna add another 50 sins for how incredibly boring this movie is.
What was that?
Was it not you dragging that bottle of whiskey across the counter? Swear to God, this noise was her dragging the bottle of whiskey across the counter.
Hello?
I'm not even sure what Luke's interest is here. They walked in uninvited and there's someone making noise behind a closed door. Maybe it's the owners, maybe it's not, but what does he care? Movie needed them to find the bodies of their aunt and uncle, but couldn't come up with a more logical series of events than this. You're telling me this dog was locked in a room with its 2 dead owners and wasn't already barking and whining and scratching at the door when Kinsey and Luke showed up? I'd remove all the sins if we find out one of the strangers is Adele.
I'm not messing with you, I swear.
He's not. We both swear.
Okay, but I just want to know if this means Kinsey doesn't have to go to the boarding school now.
Call the police and lock the door, okay?
You mean you're going to investigate the 2 dead bodies in the trailer instead of going back into your own trailer and calling the police yourself and waiting for them to investigate it? Kinsey and her mom stay in the house after seeing this. Kinsey stands there in shock and doesn't scream, which would be allowable, I guess, in a movie where anyone has done anything smart at all. And Cindy is so singularly focused on her phone call, she seems to have forgotten that someone was inside the trailer and her head should be on a swivel right now. And Dollface gets extremely lucky here that only Cindy and Kinsey returned to the trailer, where she was waiting alone. If all 4 of them had come back, they probably could have handled her easily. There are so many moments like this throughout the movie where the strangers almost have to have psychic powers for any of this plan to work.
Leave us alone!
Okay, Cindy, you're right. My bad. I shouldn't have come in here, smashed your phones, and started brandishing a kitchen knife. That was way over the line. Way over the line. Y'all have a pleasant evening, okay?
Who is she?
I think she said her name was Brandy? Cindy spends these last few moments telling her daughter over and over to run, instead of turning around and at least attempting to fight off her attacker. It's like Cindy knew she was in a slasher film and she clearly had to be the next victim. Did Cindy read the script? All I can think about while watching this very sad scene of a dead Cindy is that instead of throwing away that paper cup after rinsing her mouth out earlier, she left it sitting by the sink like an asshole. 21 seconds of smiley face. Luke and Mike's search for the murder trailer has hit a blistering pace. I can't catch up.
We're gonna call the cops.
You told your wife and daughter to do that before you abandoned them. And for some reason, you didn't think going back to the trailer to get your own phone before going on a journey where your aunt and uncle might be dead was worthy of your time. Sure, the phones ended up being smashed anyway, but he didn't know that.
Hi, Uncle Marv. It's Cindy.
Mike tried the light switch when he first walked into the trailer and realized the power was out, so how is the answering machine still working?
So we're not going to be to Gatlin Lake until around 9 or 10.
Close, very close, but I remember Cindy putting a distinct between until and around.
So we're not going to be to Gatlin Lake until around 9 or
Hey, guys.
10.
That was somehow not picked up by this answering machine. This and more devastating takedowns can be seen at CinemaSins. Man, these strangers are good. One of them got that eerie, creaky swing going, somehow knowing that Mike would look out the window at that exact moment. If they ever get sick of murdering, I feel like they've got a horror movie consultant career in the bag. Every member of this family reacts to scary people wearing masks with silence. They never developed a scream gene.
Are you really gonna shoot them?
The people that have butchered Luke's aunt and uncle and are probably trying to murder his family? Is Mike going to shoot those people? That's Luke's question. This is what's on Luke's mind in this given moment. For some reason, the killers who like to with their victims before they kill them didn't do a goddamn thing to their car. I mean, it's a tired cliche, but this is one I believe in. Don't mind me, just sitting in my truck listening to Night Moves by Marilyn Martin, which is a deep cut, I know. I've got layers. But anywho, just assuming one of you is bound to show up in this specific area, but I'm not psychic. Common misconception about us. We're not psychic, we're just strange. You might even call us strangers. See what I did there? Anyways, time for more with your mind and the audience's patience. Is it me you're looking for?
Leave us alone!
But we've just started.
There are only 3 killers in this group, but you'll swear there are 80 considering the ground they cover in any short amount of time. They are somehow in the right place everywhere anyone goes, despite this being a large trailer park and only one person is driving. Also, scary moment and all, but how did she know Kinsey would hide in this exact spot? She couldn't have come in the tube after without Kinsey hearing her, so she was clearly just sitting there in the dark, inexplicably waiting for this moment.
Oh my God.
I could foresee a lot of emotional states coming into play in this movie, but I never guessed Mike would get bored.
I'm gonna go find her, okay? We're gonna get the cops.
Oh, Sorry guys, I lost the give a shit about these characters challenge. Sorry I let you guys down. The stranger will keep selecting radio stations until he lands on one playing Cambodia by Kim Wilde, and I can only assume this is in present day since they have cell phones, so what local station is playing Cambodia in the year of our Lord 2018?
What are you doing?
Only 2 movies in, and this franchise has already settled into a rhythm of stranger f***s with and chases down a victim, and said victim asks, why are you doing this? Wash, rinse, repeat. Mike is stabbed, and yet I feel nothing. It's not just the character, it's the whole buildup. Mike was probably already dead, considering the circumstances, so to have someone step into the car and take their time stabbing it was virtually meaningless. Movie will spend 6 more seconds than it should on screwdriver staring. 6 minutes ago, which feels like hours in this movie, Kinsey was last seen running away from a killer that just let her escape. So I guess she's just been running for 6 minutes straight, never once during that time trying to break into another trailer home to find a phone that works or a weapon or doing something other than running out in the open. The movie at this point doesn't care about what a character might do to survive. It just wants to terrorize them and give them 0 agency. Kinsey! Shouting this loudly knowing there is at least one person out there trying to kill you. First off, hello? Second off, the fucking does one of the killers manage to pick the exact house where Kinsey decides to hide? There is only one easy way in or out of these places, so that means they've been sitting here waiting the whole time. They didn't just jump through a window when they saw Kinsey walk inside, and these assholes aren't supernatural. Third off, it's a further indictment of Kinsey's character that the killers know she'll be curious about the noise rather than just running from it. Fourth off, it's a further indictment of this movie how characters continue to walk slowly through hallways as if this makes the movie suspenseful or thrilling in any way. Everyone watching this movie right now is asking, why the f*** aren't you running away? And possibly rooting for her death for being so stupid. Movie thinks I am scared of this killer in the shadows when I already knew they were there, and should have already registered that my irritation with this scene fully exceeds any terror it could possibly generate. That scream was the first loud noise anyone made during this sequence, but somehow f***ing Luke knew to run inside this house well before that happened.
Wait, look the window.
You think you can reach it?
Why are they all continuing to go into other trailers instead of just trying to get the f*** out of the trailer park? And even if finding trailers to hide in is the best option, they don't try to find a phone or a weapon or do anything other than wait to get killed.
Grab that shirt off, okay? What? Take that flannel off.
I swear when Luke tells his sister to take her shirt off, nobody on set knew how that would sound when it got to this point. And I believe that's Bailey Madison out of character asking, what? And Louis Pullman saving the day by specifying the flannel around her waist so it doesn't sound like the movie is about to turn into Flowers in the Attic. See, the book is titled A Stranger is Watching. Do you get it? Also books.
I was so mean.
Hey,
Kinsey, it's okay. It's okay. Now you don't have to go to boarding school.
do you remember that time that I fell out of that tree at Marshbank? Do you remember that?
Movie has time for this.
Why are they doing this to us?
People in this movie keep asking this as if it's something the movie really wants you to ponder, as if random psychopaths killing people for no reason is something that you've never thought of before or have never seen. I'm getting beyond tired of these fuckers knowing the exact trailer Luke and or Kinsey are in. And Hooded Stranger also knew the exact place they were in the trailer to make his entrance all the more dramatically revealing. Once again, the characters don't scream and just stare dumbfounded at something that should scare the shit out of them and make them run somewhere. It's almost like they know what's going to happen and are just as bored as we are.
I'm gonna be able to move much faster and you're gonna be a lot safer here, okay?
How do you know that? Everywhere you assholes go, they show up. And if you guys sit here and talk for another 5 minutes, they're definitely going to find you. Also, and I can't stress this enough, I hate this movie. This swing set has been featured so prominently in this movie that if it didn't qualify for a SAG card after filming wrapped, it should sue. The phone lines get cut before Luke can get any help sent, but why weren't they already cut? The strangers are either the smartest or dumbest murderers ever, depending on what the movie needs them to be at that moment.
There's these crazy people trying to kill us.
Okay, calm down.
I don't think you can be calmer when telling someone that crazy people are trying to kill you.
Just leave us alone.
Even though she has the drop on him, Pinup doesn't stab or try to kill Luke here for reasons. For the first time in this movie, one of the strangers just runs right out in the open to kill someone. No creeping around, no coming out of nowhere, just full-on dumbass. Being as idiotic as a character in a Scream movie and feeling the need to unmask the killer instead of getting the f*** away from them. The character arc of Luke going from total pacifist to full-blown killer might have been interesting in a better movie. This is supposed to be scary, but at this point, since the movie hasn't done anything to make me like it, it has the same effect as Quint scratching his nails across the chalkboard in Jaws. But at least that had porpoise. Wait, does that work? No, it does not. I've always hated seeing people swinging axes like a madman in these movies and watching the heroes allow it to happen at will. When the motherfucker swings and misses, that's your turn to go in for the stabbing. Sure, I don't know if I'd actually react this way if this were to happen to me, but I do take comfort in believing I would from the comfort of my own home. This sequence of Luke trying to stay afloat total eclipse of the hearts for all the some time. I'm glad this movie is only an hour and 18 minutes before the credits roll, because I don't think I can tolerate any more scenes with the strangers somehow being in places before the victims are. A general understanding of how this trailer park is laid out and how 3 people can cover so much ground would have been a minimum requirement for this to be fun or scary.
Whoa. Okay, come here.
You see a girl lying in the street with blood on her and you don't think, maybe I should check my surroundings first, and maybe you should call it in before helping her? How does Kinsey not see Dollface here and warn the cop? She's in her direct line of vision. It's almost like Kinsey knows she's in a slasher film with almost 20 minutes left to go and the cop has to die. Did everyone in this goddamn movie read the script? I know I made the Scream mention earlier with Luke trying to unmask Pinup, but now we have a killer showing a helpless victim trapped in a car that they have the keys? I haven't seen a movie want to be Scream so badly since Scream 4. Oh, it was this girl all along.
Why are you doing this?
Why not?
I'm glad that Kinsey could finally get the answer we've known all along with just 10 minutes to go. I do not believe one of the strangers was able to do something in time to this car so that it won't start. So this is just a movie making it not start. Also, even with everything that's happened time after time in this movie, Kinsey remains oblivious to potential attackers. Do most of you not think you'd be constantly on the lookout after just one encounter with these assholes? As little as the hooded stranger seems to care about ramming his truck into f***ing everything, I can't figure out how that truck is even still running. This carelessness doesn't make a ton of sense, considering I'm assuming one needs to have a way to get the f*** out of the area in which they've recently murdered a bunch of people. I guess if you're a psychopath, that means you can just survive a giant explosion like this and continue to operate this vehicle while engulfed in flames. And I'm sorry, that asshole was cooked if he was sitting in the driver's seat, which he was, because that would be stupid if he wasn't. Kinsey graduates from the Prometheus School of Running Away from Things by completing the final exam in this scene. Kinsey has all sorts of wooded, grassy options that the burning truck would have a hard time following her through, but instead she chooses to run down a f***ing bridge. He could 100% run her over in the truck right now, but instead will stop the truck, get out, and try to kill her another way before he burns to death. Hey, Kinsey, after seeing what you've seen, would you please remove the axe from this situation? Maybe take the axe and sink it into this guy's skull? Oh, no? You say that the situation is over and it's time to keep on trucking? Sweet. The next 20 seconds establish that this woman is driving a truck and her kid likes tossing a baseball to himself in the passenger seat. The importance of this scene cannot be understated. Without it, and yes, the full 20 seconds of it, this whole movie falls apart. Kinsey walks towards the truck and we can see that no one is behind her. This mother asks if she's okay, but then, lo and behold, the stranger who collapsed after being set on fire somehow got up enough strength to move quickly to this spot wielding the axe that I explicitly told Kinsey to make irrelevant. It's kind of wild that the axe is this guy's thing and he hasn't been able to hit a single fucking person with it. Texas Chainsaw Massacring your ending with a distraught girl in the back of a pickup truck and just making me want to watch that much better movie instead of finishing this one. Also, they seriously made her ride in the back of the truck this whole time? The movie lies to you and tells you that Luke is alive. Earlier, he got stabbed and lost a lot of blood. Kinsey saves him from the pool, does nothing to stop the bleeding, and then she just leaves him there. And then the rest of the movie happens. Then we see Kinsey on this slow ride after she's finally safe. And while this happens, does someone call an ambulance? Does someone drive by and pick up Luke? Or does he have to wait until Kinsey gets to wherever she's going before anyone does anything about him? I'm sorry. I know you see Luke here in the hospital and the movie is saying he's not dead, but he's fucking dead. Movie harkens back to the squeaky toy part of the movie, and now we realize why that stupid scene was even included. So the movie could have this fake-out scary ending that makes no sense unless Kinsey is just imagining this and is suffering from PTSD. Either way, f*** you, movie.
I don't know your name, but I remember that hair. And I remember your white little face. And you were on a horsey.
What are you doing in my house?
I like your house. Can I come in?
There isn't anybody here.
Only us spirits from the wretched, burning depths of Hades, methinks.
There's someone else staying here?
It's weird.
This smells like Count Dooku to me.
I look so tired.
What do you say I take you home and eat your
What about the mailbox?
Tampering with mailboxes is a felony offense.
R, Q, J, question mark, smiley face.
Already been there. I've already seen it.
Dry land is not a
I've seen it! You gotta get out of here.
No, I'm not gonna leave you.
You gotta get the out of here.
Dad, I'm not gonna leave.
Dewey, I'm cut in half pretty bad.
Okay, you're gonna be okay.
Say the goddamn words. You're gonna be okay.
Get that damn screwdriver out of my head!
This means something. It's important.
Meryl, swing away.
Women.